Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind. About your mother?
My mother?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my mother.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Cells.
Do they keep you in a cell? Cells.
Cells.
When you're not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
This causes it. This causes it. This causes it. Information overload. All the electronics around you poisoning the airwaves.
You are listening to the High Tech Low Life podcast, a cyberpunk media retrospective. High Tech Low Life contains language and themes not suitable for all audiences, as well as spoilers for the content being covered. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back, everybody, to the High Tech Low Life podcast with your hosts, Eric and Josh. I'm Eric.
And I'm Josh.
This week, we are posing the immortal question, how could a movie with Willem Dafoe and Christopher Walken, two of the most interesting out there people on Earth, be so boring?
Arguably, we are posing the question, what is a movie?
What is movie?
Yeah, there was a, I'll get into it when
We'll get into it
when we start talking.
Struggles were had as I consume this one, but we'll get into that once we get into the other struggles, the struggles of getting through day to day in late stage capitalism, I guess.
Oh man, I
love how there's like no preamble anymore. It's just like, we're doing this. Let's talk about the worst things happening in the world immediately.
Yeah, that's one of the things when, spoiler alert, you might hear a promo for our show on other shows. When I was writing the promo, I had a couple of minutes where I was trying to do a summary of kind of what we do and what we talk about and who we are. Mm-hmm. And I got in the weeds of, yeah, we're going to die. And I had to delete that immediately before I sent the draft.
Kind of like to read that draft, not going to lie.
I was just at a point where I was like, I don't know, I'm getting too deep. Nobody's going to want to play this. Nobody's going to want to hear this. How do you people hear this?
Okay, I don't know. That's that's just the way it is these days, and I hope it gets better. Maybe.
Hey, that's what we got to keep in mind.
So one piece of dystopian news that's been clouding my feed is the TikTok ban.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not a regular TikTok user, maybe it's not quite as in your face.
Yeah, it's definitely popped up. Like, people have talked about it quite a fair amount on X, but I bet if you're actually a TikTok user as opposed to a TikTok casual like I am.
Yeah, I'm hardcore mode TikTok, except I don't post on it because I tried to once for this podcast and it was immediately fucking perma-banned. So I don't know why, but it just didn't seem like it's worth the effort.
If you're referring to the Pedro Pascal Nick Cage thing, I think that was maybe the greatest triumph of art in the 21st century.
Well, that one didn't get banned. It was one of the just clips from the show that got banned.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was something us being like, if you aren't down with trans rights, fuck you, go die. And they took that as threats or something. Sure. It's real easy to get brigaded on there because they like lurk in the shadows, but there's a bunch of right wingers that just mass report anybody saying anything they don't like. And then the bots don't care if the reports are valid. They just see there's a lot of them and they get rid of it. So anyway, that being said, I think TikTok is actually a pretty cool platform and I enjoy using it. And the ban that they're proposing is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's really funny. And the thing that it kind of tickles in my brain is in the late 80s and early 90s, before the bubble burst, Japanese corporations were were doing a lot of investing in real estate in like LA, New York, Hawaii, stuff like that. And there were calls to ban property ownership by Japanese corporations and people. Yeah. Because it it kind of reached this point of, because a lot of number one, there are a lot of Japanese descended immigrants in Hawaii.
Yes.
And a lot of Japanese corporations were buying land and, building skyscrapers and stuff like that. So somebody decided, or somebody thought, wait, what if the Japanese own like more than half of the real estate in Hawaii? Does that make it not America anymore?
Yeah.
And you can see some you can see just the very edge of this in Die Hard, where the what is it? It's a Japanese corporation that owns the skyscraper.
Oh, right. Yeah. Not coming to mind.
Yeah. But it was a thing in the late 80s, early 90s, and then it died off when the Japanese bubble burst and all that. But it really feels like the same thing. Just this stupid, just a fucking high school freshman level xenophobia. Like, but what if, man? If all these... if all these kids are using a foreign social media company.
Well, if you'll allow me to put my conspiracy hat on for one moment.
Do it. Great.
I think that's definitely a part of it, but I think that's also the facade that they're using. Because
facade.
I'm sorry. The facade. The fuckaday. That one bit of information that has been very popular and has been being how am I saying this? I think people are talking about Palestinian rights on TikTok a lot. Let me put it that way.
Sure.
More so
Because
than most other platforms.
The youth are interested in people not being genocided?
Yeah, the youth are smart like that. And the youth are the majority of people using TikTok, and it's the youth are also I don't know. I feel like, and I've heard this spoken a number of places, that the Israel lobbies are working hard to get TikTok shut down because it is really pushing the pro-Palestinian line, which just seems smart to me because that's the anti-genocide line. But I wish I had thought of a way to word that better, but that's one of my conspiracies. And I'm sure the xenophobia is definitely a part of it. I'm also sure that Meta and Google lobbying to have TikTok removed is also a huge part of it. Maybe the biggest part of it. Who knows?
And of course, Elon.
And Elon, although, is he really even
human?
Twitter?
No.
Twitter doesn't even seem like it counts anymore. I feel like, it's just full of Twitter. It's a whole nother conversation.
It really
Twitter
is.
does not have the power it had 5 years ago. It's
or a year and a half ago.
Yeah. And I think it might have had a smaller user base then, but it's a joke now, and it's full of bots, and it's full of
pussy in bio.
Yeah, exactly. It's full of boosted bullshit accounts. Like it's useless as a social media platform, except for what brands use it for. Brands including the High Tech Low Life brand.
Yeah, except for our buddies who have followed us and we follow them.
Well, half of them are gone, but just because it's a terrible place to be.
It really fucking is.
Anyway, there's a number of things to look into on the TikTok ban. One thing I wanted to mention is the politician Jeff Jackson. Did you hear about any of that?
I'm not sure.
He is a North Carolina Democrat, I believe, and he's he amassed a very large following on TikTok, like 1.5 million or something.
Okay.
I've seen him. He pops up my feed pretty regularly, although I don't follow him. But he does really down to earth, like explaining stuff in Congress.
Okay.
In like, Eli 5 levels. And he built this organic following because it felt like he was being honest. Well, he voted for the TikTok ban, and then he posted one of his super down to earth posts explaining why, that he didn't think TikTok was actually going to be banned, but blah, blah, blah. And the app just fucking turned on him so hard.
Yeah,
just demolished him.
You kind of had to expect that, though, right?
You would think. He didn't. He took the video down, and then a few days later posted an apology where he explained that in Congress,
video.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. He tries to explain himself, but then adds that in Congress we're privy to information that isn't public, and that's why I voted the way I did. And it's like, well, why don't you make it public, Jeff?
Yeah.
Like, what is this information that's so top secret that we users of the app can't see it? Plus, not to mention, you're a user of the app. So whatever information you've seen that's so disturbing hasn't stopped you from getting on here and talking to your constituents and your...
I'd be interested to see his financial portfolio.
Yeah,
and if any changes have been made in the past, say, 6 months.
That's a good question. People are digging all that stuff up as we speak. Like half my posts are people just putting him through the ringer, showing who all his donors are, which of course he's got donors from everybody.
Oh yeah.
That has interest in TikTok being gone.
You got to play both sides, man.
Anyway, it's interesting. I don't know if TikTok will go away. I don't think it will. I think the internet will be worse off without it, because I think it's actually one of the better apps, because the algorithm is such... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm an idiot, but it's one of the least depressing places for me to spend my time on social media.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I mean, I don't know. I only interact with the TikTok algorithm by complete fucking accident.
Right.
I mean, so, and by complete accident, I mean hitting the back button on my phone and then it just sends me to a different video as opposed to going to...
Yeah. Your TikTok algorithm is probably mostly defined by funny videos I've sent you and that has been linked on Discord.
Yeah, exactly.
So
occasionally funny videos my sister sends me of a dog or a possum.
A lot of cute animal, which is why I like TikTok. You can make it mostly be cute animal stuff if that's all you really interact with. Unlike YouTube Shorts, which I have been on and used fairly regularly for the past year, a lot of it in the name of this podcast, and I still constantly get Jordan Peterson fucking bullshit like that. Like I thumbs down it. Do not show me any more of this content, and it still comes.
Nice.
So fuck that noise. And check us out on YouTube though, because we post shorts once in a while.
Yeah, we're theoretically there
because they don't ban us.
Yay!
Anyway, that was a long rant of bullshit.
I don't want to get off on a rant here.
Do you got any recommendos?
I would like to know one piece of dystopian news that we don't have to discuss, really. But I'm looking forward to this bloodbath that's going to happen in, I don't know, November or December that Trump promised. It's going to be...
Use the word bloodbath, huh?
Yeah, he used the word bloodbath. So...
Smart dude.
Cool times in America and peaceful transitions of power.
Well, I think it's going to be peaceful because I think he's going to win.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Especially if Biden keeps doing stuff like banning the app used by kids and genociding or providing weapons and money to genocides in other countries. Yeah. Seems like bad moves. Not
pro level moves, not S tier.
Not S tier, no. Not Sigma behavior.
No. Fully beta cucked.
Fully beta cucked. All right. Well, can't wait for the bloodbath.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I got a couple of. Well, I've got a couple of recommendos, and I have one not recommendo necessarily, but something I want to talk about.
Okay.
Recommendo, number one, Girls Five Eva, the new season.
Oh
season
yeah,
3.
I think I'm going to start that soon from the beginning. I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah. Season 3 is only 6 episodes. They're like half hours, and it just dropped on Netflix for the first time. But the whole show is on there. Still a very funny show. Worth the 3-hour investment.
Yeah.
Number 2, a movie by the guy who made the movie we're watching for the show this week, New Rose Hotel.
Oh.
Director named Abel Ferrara.
Definitely heard his name before this episode.
Yeah, after I watched New Rose Hotel, I watched one of his, probably his either first or second most famous film, which is King of New York, starring Christopher Walken and Lawrence Fishburne.
I think I saw that when I was a young man.
Yeah, Chris Walken gets out of prison and is a drug lord, and it's a really good movie. I mean, it's cheap as dirt, but it's a really good narrative. Highly recommend that movie if you're up for some early 90s drug war violence. Also, Steve Buscemi, standing in the background of a bunch of shots, being funny.
If you're not up for some early 90s drug war violence, why are you here? Let's be honest.
Egg sharply. Also, on almost exactly the same note, I watched Deep Cover, which was 1992. Lawrence Fishburne, Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Directed by Bill Duke, who he played Mac in Predator.
I wish movie watching had an algorithm, because yours would be fucking crazy this week.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, Deep Cover, a great fucking movie. Better than I had remembered it. I hadn't seen it since 1993 or something. Mm-hmm. It has the very first Dr. Dre and Snoop track over the credits. It is a really good fucking movie. I super recommend that. There's a Criterion DVD and Blu-ray out with a bunch of cool bonus features. Totally worth it. I have two more recommendos, but if you've got anything, go ahead. I don't want to just take up all this time.
I wanted to recommend a video game that I actually bought yesterday and played till 3 a.m. last night.
Nice.
It's called Balatro.
Okay.
You're probably not familiar with roguelikes, right?
I am not. I have seen that phrase many times on the internet.
So this isn't an official explanation of what they are, but the way I consider them to be is a game where you're meant to fail over and over and over and over. And as you fail, you A, get better, but B, gain powers that persist as the game goes on.
Okay.
So roguelikes can be very 8-bit 2D looking games with just little powers. They can also be some people would also consider Elden Ring or some of these Souls-like games to be, upper tier roguelikes in a way, because you're just doing the same thing over and over. But this game, Balatro, is a roguelike poker game. So you're playing poker, not against anybody. You're just building poker hands. It's kind of like video poker in that way. But there are all of these extra little things they add in, you get a collection of jokers, and the jokers make certain things give you more points, and then you got to get these points to move up to the next level. Okay. And the further you go, you unlock more cards and more abilities. And it sounds really boring. It looked boring when I watched the trailer, but I heard some positive recommendations, and I like poker and I like roguelikes, so I got it. And it is not boring. It's very fun if you're, into, I guess, video poker and roguelikes, which I am into both. So
Okay. Yeah. I am seeing on the Google search that Dwarf Fortress, a game I have played, is a roguelike.
Very much, yeah.
So, okay.
It's one of the classics.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of math in the game and a lot of
Oh boy, I love math in the game.
It's not like it's fun, math. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a nerd. I think it's very fun because you're like trying to figure out point values and seeing if you've got enough. Anyway, somebody's gonna listen to this and be like, that does sound kind of intriguing, because I was intrigued by it.
Well, I hope that's the case.
And it's only $15. It's a cheap game. So
Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable based on, like, I have the weirdest understanding of game costs.
Yeah,
because
they're weird right now.
I either exclusively hear about, like, it is $1.99 on Steam, or it is $75 for a 2-hour play type.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Or it's free.
Yeah.
You just have to invest $10,000 over the next year if you want to get good at it. The most time I've spent playing video games have been on games under $20.
Yeah.
Like, that's the market for me that is very exciting, because there are some super creative people that have their own studios or these little indie studios that just don't, chain them to what they need to do. And there's some very fun, low budget indie games out there that don't cost you very much to play. So anyway,
it seems like also a lot of what I hear is that Steam has completely deformed, and I don't mean that in a negative way, has completely deformed the marketplace in that they will, like, have stuff on huge sale.
Yeah, they will.
Like, pretty randomly.
Yeah, even big games you can get for cheap if you just wait some time. Yeah, Steam has good sales, but once again, Steam, like any other platform out there, you're not buying the game, you're buying a license to play it. So if Steam goes away, all those games go away.
Yeah, that is certainly the truth. And that actually brings me to one of my recommendos. It's actually a re-recommendo from only like 2 years ago. Yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, I was going through some of our old episodes in search of promo material. And I listened through our Strange Days episode. Episode
3, I believe.
3, yes. In which we had a bunch of Michael Wincott talk. And I was like, you know what he was fucking great in? A small part? Nope. So I rewatched Nope last night.
Oh, good.
Which left Amazon in the past 3 days or something, probably at the beginning of this month. So yeah, keep that in mind, that things get stolen off of what you think you can watch at any time.
Yes.
And remember, there's a flag with a skull and a crossbones on it out there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't about to leave my house and try to go find a place at 9:45 at night.
Find a place like a Red Box or something?
A Red Box or a store. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Nope. Still very good. Like, actually, I think I liked it better this time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater, but it's I love it.
And Michael Wincott is a killer in that, with a very small part.
You know what Michael Wincott isn't in, as far as I know? The new Crow movie.
Oh my God.
Probably good for him.
Yeah, I feel like if he is not in that, then bullet fucking dodged. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The trailer looks bad.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe for somebody who was 45 years old in 1994, 95 when that movie came out, maybe it seemed just as bad and stupid as this one does to me. But fuck, it looks real bad.
I don't know, man. I watched the trailer and like I like FKA Twigs. I was kind of excited to see her in the movie.
I think she makes really good music. I have enjoyed Bill Skarsgård in a number of things I've seen him in.
But like her line delivery in the trailer anyway, it wasn't many lines, but it sounded like somebody who'd never acted before. It sounded like I'm going to sound when I'm reading copy for our promo that we're going to record.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man.
It sounded like Asia Argento.
Oh boy.
In New Rose Hotel, except she has a language barrier excuse.
Ish, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really think you could have, like, if you were convinced you wanted to make a Crow movie, you could have just done The Crow, like, with honestly the same fucking fashion and vibe.
Yeah, it would have been fine. Goth never goes away.
Yeah, it's Goth is arguably the longest lived, which is funny because it's all about death. The longest lived subculture. Like, it's in the shadows, baby, where Goth belongs. It incorporates new things that come along and spits out other shit. It's how do you, I mean, like, the thing about The Crow is fucking vibes.
Yeah, it's all spooky vibes, and this trailer has meth trailer park vibes.
It really does. And I mean, had they, like, if somebody had, like, what I came up with when I first saw the trailer was, if they're going to go this direction, they should have just made Eric Draven, or whatever the new character's name is, a juggalo.
Dude, they should have.
It's
fucking amazing.
In Detroit. Yeah. He could have had a hatchet man.
Oh, they should have made him a juggalo.
I mean, because that would have been equally useful as the SoundCloud rapper version that they have.
It is Eric Draven, by the way, which they also could have just made it like same universe, different person. Like, they didn't have to make it Eric Draven. Anyway, the movie's not out yet.
I don't know. I will definitely wait for a home watch on that one, because as much as I have enjoyed The Crow, boy, this looks like a serious.
By the way, if it sounds like we're stalling, it's because we don't know if we can fill a tight 90 with Gotham New Rose Hotel.
Yeah. One more way to stall. I also watched, it's just hit streaming, Drive Away Dolls. Have you seen anything about that movie?
I think it sounds familiar. Let me Google it real quick while you talk about it.
It is the new film from Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I know what it is.
Yeah, it stars Geraldine Viswanathan from, what is that fucking show called? It's got, Jesus Christ, it's gone now. It was in my head half a second ago.
Cockblockers?
It was an anthology show. Had Steve Buscemi in it too. Miracle Workers.
Okay.
And also Margaret Qualley, who is, I think, Annie McDowell's daughter, if I remember right.
Could be. I know she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, she's a Nepo baby. Anyway, it's a lesbian road trip movie. It's pretty fun. I mean, it was kind of going, it wasn't as good, but it was kind of going back to a Raising Arizona type vibe. Just fun. Like kind of cartoony bullshit and chaos. Had some fun cameos and,
Miley Cyrus, apparently.
Yeah, that was a weird part. Anyway, it's a pretty decent movie. I'd call it on a normal person scale, I'd call it a B. For our show, of course, it's a C, but not quite a C.
She's married to Jack Antonoff.
Oh, all right. Anyway, fun little lesbian road trip movie set in the year 2000 for almost no reason.
Yeah. Get those nostalgia bucks.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we got to talk about this fucking movie we watched for the show, right?
All right. So we are now going to talk about 1998, I believe.
Yep.
New Rose Hotel, directed by Abel Ferrara, written by William Gibson, along with Abel Ferrara and Chris Zoyce.
Zwa? I don't know.
And starring Christopher Walken, Willem Dafoe, and Asia Argento.
Yes. I'm going to speed run through the plot, and it's going to be the easiest thing I've ever done. Okay, two Shadowrunners recruit a prostitute to do a corporate extraction on a very important scientist. One of the Shadowrunners falls in love with the sex worker and
gets honeypotted by the honeypot.
Yeah, the extraction happens off screen.
Everything happens off screen.
And then they are betrayed, and one of them dies, and the other is stuck in a coffin hotel, reliving the events of the movie for roughly the last third of the movie.
Yes, that's generous. I would almost say half, but
I think it's about a third, but yeah.
So they really only had to shoot. It's a 90-minute movie. They really only had to shoot about 50 minutes.
55, something like that. Because there are like a bunch of flashbacks and shit in the earlier 50.
Yeah. Man. So let's just get this out of the way. I love Willem Dafoe and I love Christopher Walken. Willem Dafoe. I just saw Dune 2 for the second time last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still great, and I'm excited to watch it a third time.
Yeah.
And although I wouldn't say Christopher Walken's my favorite part about it, he could do.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor, even in and I saw an interview with him saying, I wanted to just play a normal guy. And he pretty much did in, did you watch Severance on Apple?
I love him on Severance.
Yeah, he's fucking great in that, and he's a dude.
Yeah, just kind of an eccentric old dude.
Like, he's not... Most people just hire him for his I'm being weird Christopher Walken shit, but he can just be a dude.
Yeah. He's like full Christopher Walken mode in this movie, and it doesn't do anything for the movie.
Yeah.
When did the Fatboy Slim video come out?
God, it probably was 98.
Yeah, it probably was right around
99, maybe. It was right in this slot.
Because I think this movie had more...
It might have been the same hotel.
Might have been. This movie had more Christopher Walken dancing than the music video that's famous for him dancing.
He, to be fair, he is a guy who has consistently done a fair amount of, he was originally, a dancer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He was a song and dance man prior to getting
it was 2000, by the way.
Was it? Okay.
So this beats it.
Yeah. Prior to getting Deer Hunter, he was kind of a song and dance man. So he has always kind of worked, usually there's a little bit of dancing. I remember in Sarah Plain and Tall, which I saw because it was shot 15 miles from where we went to high school.
Yep.
And stuff like that. But this was a very dancey role.
But not because it required it, just because I guess he decided to do it.
Throw a little mustard on it.
Yeah. I also feel like
the movie is very boring and nothing happens, so him dancing is the most action-packed part of the film.
Yeah. Also, another point I wanted to bring up was Willem Dafoe is not I wouldn't call him a traditionally handsome man, although he's good looking in his own way, but just not in a traditional way. Sure. And I think I've watched that man have sex more times than probably anyone else on Earth. Why do you think that is?
That's I hadn't really thought of it before. But yeah, he does do a lot of fucking.
He does a lot of fucking on screen.
It might be because, and I don't know if this is, I don't know how true this is or if it is actually related at all, but apparently Willem Dafoe he's got a big fucking hammer and knows how to swing it.
Are you talking about his penis?
Yeah, there have been multiple, like over the years, there have been multiple instances. Like he was in a Lars von Trier film called
seen that film.
Antichrist.
I've seen it.
You watched Jesus Christ.
I
Why
watched
did you watch Antichrist?
I don't remember. I like at the time it was, everybody was like, this film's so fucking crazy, and I had the chance to watch it for whatever reason, so I did.
Okay. Because that is not a film that I would consider necessarily in your wheelhouse or your wife's wheelhouse. As far as I know, for either of you.
It's kind of horror-y, right? I don't think she made it through the whole thing. This is a long time ago.
Yeah. Because that came out like 2005, something like that. 2009, apparently.
Yeah, so I think it might have been like early Netflix or something. What?
Oh, yeah, I bet that very well could have been the case. Anyway, in that, and he's also been nude in a number of stage performances because he does a lot of stage work. Mm-hmm. In Antichrist specifically, and also 2 years ago, The Northman with Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, I did not see that.
Oh, it was pretty good.
No. I did see that.
It's the Viking movie.
I did see that. Yeah, that was a good movie. It was dark and downer, but...
Yeah. Both Antichrist and The Northman, he used a prosthetic penis because, and I am directly quoting, I think it might have been Lars von Trier, who is the director of Antichrist and not a great dude. Because when people saw his actual penis, it's confusing.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Like, he has a big
So it
enough...
wasn't his actual penis in Antichrist? Because I'm pretty sure it was in Antichrist.
Yeah. People found it distracting and confusing how big his dong is.
Wow. We've dedicated a lot of time to Willem Dafoe's penis in this episode.
Yeah. By the way, Willem Dafoe, an alumna of previous High Tech Low Life episode, Existence.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a friend of the show. Hopefully he'll be back again.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Let's back up a little bit and talk about this is an adaptation of a short story, which I'm guessing you've read. I have not. I wish I'd watched the movie sooner. I watched it last night. If I'd watched it sooner, I would have banged out the short story to be more prepared. But
I reread it this morning.
Okay.
It is a pretty direct adaptation.
Really? Does all the action in the short story take place off screen?
Pretty much. The only real difference between the short story, which is short, I mean, it's I read it in scans from Omni Magazine because I didn't have it at hand in book form. But it was maybe, in a book, it might be 10 or 12 pages.
Oh, wow. I should have read it. I thought it assumed to be longer.
Yeah, it's almost nothing. The only real difference is that it starts in the New Rose Hotel and it starts with Willem Dafoe climbing into his coffin, coffin room and saying, and it's all like, this actually is kind of a good counterpoint or it's good in relation to what we were talking about with Aeon Flux, where, Aeon Flux, part of the magic of Aeon Flux is the medium. These characters are doing things that humans can't do because it's a cartoon. And you can do all these interesting forms that are just impossible and would look insane and ridiculous if even a CGI person, with normal anatomy was doing them. It works really well as a short story. And I remembered liking the short story. It's all addressed, it's basically the protagonist, or as he is billed on IMDb, Willem Dafoe X.
Yeah.
Addressing the, sort of ghost or not actually there person in his mind of Sandy. He's spends the entire thing going, you, blah, 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 you did this, and Fox and I met you at, it's basically a big, long monologue.
Interesting.
And it works really well as a short story. It does not work, as we found out this week, as when you adapt it straight to a motion picture.
Yeah, it really doesn't. So it's faithful adaptation. It's
very faithful, like way too much so.
To a fault, yeah.
The only
fascinating.
Yeah, I wonder, there isn't a tremendous amount or even much information on the production of this film. I wonder if it wasn't intended as, okay, we're going to do all this stuff, and then we've got, we're going to have a cool scene with some action doing the extraction and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe they ran out of money or whatever to make up that last 30 minutes of the movie.
You think? That would be embarrassing.
Well, I mean, it might not, it might be a financier dropped out or something like that.
I was just frustrated at the end. It's like, we've seen all this. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
And some of it was slightly different. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they were using different takes.
Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't be like, is that supposed to be because he's not remembering? I think this was a very sloppy movie. I heard many times when people were delivering dialogue where they delivered it incorrectly. So like they stepped on one of the other person's lines, mm-hmm. and then that person finished, and then they came back and said the same line.
Yeah.
That happened a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just, the whole thing felt really sloppy to me.
Yeah, it really was. The other thing, the other option I had, which was not we ran out of money, but Abel Ferrara got a cheap or free rate on, hey, you can shoot in this hotel. What can I make a movie of that's just in a hotel? And,
yeah, I guess. And he just recently read Burning Chrome, and
I don't know. And Abel Ferrara has a pretty wild history and filmography. He's a guy. He is a guy who made a ton. I think he's a guy who just loves to make a fucking movie.
Yeah,
like he needs to be making movies.
Good or bad, he just wants to.
Yeah, and we talked about that with some other director, anyway. And he has done everything. Like, he's made tons and tons, from what I understand, of softcore and hardcore porn under pseudonyms and stuff like that. He's like one of these authors from the mid 20th century who have 15 fucking pseudonyms, who literally have a book coming out every fucking month. It's just not under their name.
Scrolling down through his filmography, I would say his average star rating is around a 5.5.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's made some really good movies. The King of New York that I mentioned earlier. Bad Lieutenant is his work, which is, that's a great fucking movie. Although both King of New York and Bad Lieutenant are the type of movies that might get dinged on IMDb ratings because they're kind of horrible.
Yeah.
In terms of what they do.
Right. He's talking to the mic, I guess.
So I don't know, man.
Half of this movie felt like student film. The other half felt like music video, which leads me into something I wanted to say. The music on this film can only be described as unbearable. At least to me it was.
Yeah, it's the maybe first appearance of cat power in anything, including on record.
Cat power, what's that?
That is a band / lady who has a band.
Not familiar.
Oh, I assumed. For some reason, I assumed you would be familiar with her. It is very much indebted to the David Lynch chanteuse thing from Twin Peaks, and to a lesser extent, Lost Highway and stuff like that, where it's this kind of like, I don't know how to describe a chanteuse.
I don't either.
Yeah, singing over kind of jazz music. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, like it's just singing over like a jangly guitar, and then there's just some weird like techno stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
Then there was one extended scene that just had a violin.
Yeah,
and it went on for like 10 minutes, and I hated it so much.
The score for this movie was done by Schoolie D.
I saw that. It's featured prominently in the opening credits, which, by the way, my favorite part of the movie. Opening credits, zipping back and forth, left to right.
3 fucking languages? Yeah.
Knocked him out right like that. You can see everything you need to see, but it's not spending a lot of time on it like the opening credits.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I really liked it. It created an interesting vibe having text opening credits in German, English, and Japanese.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was kind of hopeful. I don't know.
Yeah.
The opening credits were cool enough that I'm like, maybe this is one of those movies.
That's where I was, because I watched this movie once in approximately 1999 or the year 2000 on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered not liking it. And not thinking it was very good. And when those credits were going this time, I was like, oh, maybe I'm misremembering, because all I remember is Christopher Walken and Willem Dafoe and a hot chick being in a hotel room and like talking.
Yeah.
And so I must be, given how I was at the time, it's very possible I was way too drunk or way too high or, anything. And it distracted me from the good parts. That was not the case. I very well might have been stone cold sober when I watched it, and I remembered it completely accurately.
Are there any good parts that are worth highlighting? I liked the concept, the overall concept. I mean, it's very Shadowrun, like you said when you introed it. An extraction team getting an important person from one corporation to another. I would have liked to have seen any of it.
Yeah. I equated it in my mind to, I don't know how much of our audience this applies to. I know at least a few people. And in my mind, this was Shadowrun, but it could equally be applied to any role-playing game. It's the, quote, boring parts of any role-playing game.
Yeah, true.
And it's not actually the boring parts to be playing necessarily, but it's the parts where you would go, oh, I would skip this if we were making it a movie.
Yeah.
Because it's the discussing what is going to happen.
It's the legwork and the negotiations.
Yeah.
And it's all of not the action parts. That's true.
This could have been like a cool movie if it had had a 20-minute long, scene of the extraction. It didn't even have to be an action scene. It could have been, people sneaking around and who knows?
I would have liked to have seen any
of it
of Sandy seducing Hiroshi. That's they build it. We see her. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but is it revealed in the end that she had double crossed X?
Yes,
Willem Dafoe. And she had been basically honeypotting him the whole time, right?
I
could not figure out why.
We assume she got a payoff from Moss.
Okay. That's what I assumed too, but I didn't know if Fox was involved in that.
No.
Because the way the flashbacks were going, they were almost making it look like Fox and Sandy had side conversations where he convinced her to seduce X.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Okay. Well, that's once again, it's because the flashbacks were done so poorly. They're just like random images with audio you've already heard, over the top, slightly different from the way you heard it. And one in the original, I remember specifically, he said Fox is talking to Sandy.
A nincompoop.
A nincompoop. And then on the second time, he calls her a dumbbell. And it's like...
Dumbbell. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was dumbbell or dunderhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why not use the same take unless they're trying to imply that they're different conversations?
See, I was operating on the assumption that was an attempt to show how our memories tend to be false and written by ourselves.
I had definitely considered that, but then I'm like, I'm giving them too much credit.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you're used to watching... Sorry, go ahead.
One of the fun things about this movie is that the guy who played Hiroshi is the main artist for Vampire Hunter D.
That is
like all those cool watercolors.
That's extremely cool.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if he was ever on screen other than on screen
grainy
via another
fucking
screen.
Night vision video. Yeah,
that's actually a great segue into. Is this cyberpunk in any way other than it was written by William Gibson originally?
No. At most, it involves genetic engineering, but only off screen.
Yeah, there's some slightly high tech talk and a few gadgets that I guess in '98 would have looked kind of high tech.
Yeah, I mean that showing video on the Palm Pilot.
Yeah, I guess that was pretty cool in '98. Although they didn't get the idea of it just being high def like a regular TV. That didn't seem possible, I guess.
No.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess a rundown, and like I said, this is a really straight adaptation of the short story. So I'm probably going to be inserting a tiny bit from the short story. But basically, Christopher Walken, who is the character Fox, follows the careers of important scientists like they were fucking baseball players, and runs into an opportunity in the future. Oh, by the way, this movie takes place over the course of literally like a year.
Yeah.
Which is...
And that is not made clear.
No, not at all. I mean, because there are only 3 sets. He has been following the career of this super genetic scientist, Hiroshi, and figures out there's going to be an opportunity to extract him roughly a year from the beginning of the movie, and gets his buddy and business partner, X, to help him with the extraction. They're going to do a honeypot, and then, I mean, it's so fucking... It's like you can't relay the plot of this movie in almost any more than about 5 sentences.
You already did it. Like, I mean, we could go scene by scene, but
it's pointless.
Yeah.
There's
the first 20 minutes take place in a bar. I feel like was just Christopher Walken working a cane for all the worth it has. In like a cool bar. There's a lot of biz going down. It might be the Gentleman Loser. We don't know. It's lit very red.
There's some fun late 1990s performative lesbianism.
Yeah.
You know, Willem Dafoe's getting sucked off in a bathroom.
It's what Willem Dafoe does.
Yeah, apparently.
There is another female character, Madame Rosa, who is, I guess, friends with Fox, but it doesn't really seem to serve a purpose.
Yeah, she really doesn't. The next major female character is Hiroshi's wife, who has no lines, who is played by Gretchen Mol.
Yeah. Who
later becomes a big actress.
Yeah.
She's playing a German dominatrix with no lines. It's an exhausting movie. Like, I
kept expecting something to happen and be like, oh, it's artistic. But no, we've watched artistic movies on here, and it wasn't super artistic. It was kind of pornographic at times. Not like it was softcore pornographic at times.
It's really like, this movie should have been a 55 or 60 minute short.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have, like, if you had made some strategic cuts, you could have just structured it like the short story, and you could have, like, it could have been a satisfying hour of my life. As it stood, it was not that at all. It was a kind of a draggy hour followed by 30 minutes of me going, why are we watching this again? I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it's not functioning the way it's supposed to.
And then it just ends. Like,
yeah,
the first hour would have been worth it had there been any conclusion. Even if they'd ended with Fox's suicide, that happens like in the middle of the movie. And I don't understand.
Yeah, the way the story ends, and like I said, this is a fucking 10 or 12 page story, if that. And it's nearly entirely just monologue. The story ends with X hanging out, like he's been in the Coffin Hotel, in the New Rose Hotel, for like several days. The whole thing is him contemplating what's brought him here and considering suicide.
By the way, was I reading right that the coffins were built in Kansas City, Missouri?
Yes, that's correct.
Shout out.
Yeah. And he's being, he knows he's being chased by the Hosaka guys, and the story ends with a Hosaka helicopter turning back around to come back over the Coffin Hotel he's in. So you assume he's going to be killed or kill himself, you know, within moments of the end of, the last sentence of the story. And like, you can fucking do that in a short story. You cannot do that in a feature film where you've just spent you spent an hour doing events and then a half hour replaying those events.
Yeah. You could read this short story 10 times. It takes to watch this movie. So
it does not fucking work. And the wild thing is, like, Catherine Bigelow, again, from episode 3 of our show, Strange Days, she was attached to do a version of this prior, in the early 90s, I think, which I bet that would have been fucking great because she's a good action director.
Yeah. Show the action parts. Just make them up.
Yeah.
Make a fucking movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was describing that, like, my wife, bless her heart, watched this with me.
I almost warned you against it, but I didn't want to, like, poison you against the film.
She did not have a good time, but she did hang out through the whole thing.
Oh, that's nice of her. Thank her for me.
Yeah. But like, we're about at that hour point where she's like, I don't have any idea what's happening. And I ran it down as I read it, and it turns out I was pretty much exactly spot on.
Yeah.
But I did have familiarity with, like, extraction runs as a concept via Shadowrun. So that was comfortable territory for me. But like I said to her, I think there's a good story or movie. I don't know if there's a good movie, but there's a good story in here. It's just utterly failed to be adapted to TV. And then for some reason they had to throw in a lot of gratuitous softcore pornography.
Yeah.
And the funniest part is, when we're getting ready to watch it and we pull it up on Amazon, it says other films like this people have liked, and it's all mid-90s softcore bullshit. I'm like, this is not a good sign.
I mean, I really think, like, somebody could do a good, cool version of this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It seems like it should be pretty easy. I mean,
the movie feels like it's trying to be cool.
Yeah.
And it's got cool actors. But it's not cool.
It seemed like it seems like it should be pretty easy and doable, which is why I wonder if they were producing the movie and they got, partway into filming and then a financer dropped out or something. They were saving the action scenes till the end. And then it turned into, okay, I have to deliver a 90-minute movie. And I currently have 65 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
So I guess I make Willem Dafoe in the hotel remember things.
So embarrassing.
It's really not like, you hear, especially these days, about movies being produced and not released, like the Coyote versus Acme film.
Yeah.
This should not have been released. I think the only way it got released was as a contractual fulfillment. I think actually I did see somewhere on IMDb it made something like $5,000 in the theater.
Wow.
Because they released it in like one theater or something.
I did see that here in the IMDb trivia that during the making of the film, Asia Argento made a documentary, Abel and Asia, about the director.
Yeah, I think they were dating at the time. Problematic figure, Asia Argento.
Yeah, we decided ahead of time we weren't going to get into her because she's got a whole can of worms that I just don't feel like talking about whatsoever.
No, I don't think we're qualified or anything.
So I will say, not the best actress, very pretty in 1998.
Yeah, I think this movie probably would have had a little bit more life to it had it been Chloe Sevigny.
Yes, that she was on here as being considered.
Yeah,
which I like Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, me too. She's always interesting. But I
don't think that would have saved it.
It certainly. Yeah, it's.
I don't think casting was their big issue here.
No, it really wasn't. It was structure and structure and just concept, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like we pretty much said all there is to say without just continuing to rag on it. Is there any specific scene you want to talk about, or the weird birthday party with all the Japanese prostitutes? That was kind of gross.
It filled time.
Yeah, that's all. Its only significance was to fill time and be titillating, I guess. It gave Christopher Walken a chance to smack that hanging bell thing with his cane a bunch.
Yeah, the chime thing. It's honestly, it's just it's a very, very missed opportunity. I mean, because I totally understand. Had I gotten the rights to this in, when I was 20, 21 years old, I could have put together, I feel like
just with us as your cast?
Yeah, with a better version of the movie, because at the very least, we would have attempted to do the extraction.
Well, yeah, we were. That was our prime extraction run times. We do extraction runs constantly.
Yeah, I mean, we had somebody handed us this script and said, "Okay, slot in an action scene somewhere." We could have done at least as well as this.
It's just such a bizarre decision not to show any of what's happening.
And the movie is also, I do not know how much actual footage was in the movie, because one of my notes, because I watched it once and then sat down to take notes and watch it again, which was a drag.
It was hard for me to get through it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was hard for me to finish it the first time.
Yeah.
But I knew I was too far in to go back and do notes.
Well, thank you from all of us out here.
Yeah, I make sacrifices for this show. But even the first hour, which is relatively straightforward, has tons of slow-mo and freeze frames.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even know how much of that is actual movie. There might be 45 minutes of movie, but there's a lot of voiceover over a slow-mo Japanese guy walking down the street.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's
if you told me they had 40 minutes of film, I would believe you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And most of that is Christopher Walken swinging a cane around and pretending it's his dick.
Yeah.
kind of funny.
I truly believe we could have, like, me, you, and the people we knew in the year 2000 could have made a not only more exciting, but better version of this. Like, the drama parts probably wouldn't have been as good,
Yeah.
but that would have been outweighed.
None of us have as epic a hog as Willem Dafoe.
No, not like, and I'm saying this with somebody who has a huge appreciation for both Willem Dafoe and Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Like, these are two guys I love to watch in nearly any movie. Like, you put either of those guys in a movie, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should probably watch that at some point. It'll go on the watch list.
I think that's why this movie popped up last week when we were trying to decide what to do, because spoiler alert for how we figure things out. Sometimes it's last minute.
Yeah.
And this one was, and we're like, oh, William Gibson wrote it. It stars Willem Dafoe and Christopher Walken. How could we not enjoy this?
Yeah. Like I said, I remembered not liking it, but
you were a teenager. Who knows what it was like?
I was dumb. I mean, I'm still dumb.
Yeah. I watched a lot of things when I was young, dumb, and full of spunk for life that that I didn't like and appreciate now as an adult a lot more.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to call this a short episode because I don't want to keep bagging on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, on the one hand, it's bad enough that it does deserve it. On the other hand, I don't feel like there's enough meat on it.
Well, it's like Cyborg was bad, but I didn't feel bad bagging on it because nobody thought it was going to be good.
Yeah.
This is just sad bad because I think there's something good that was completely missed. Yeah. And now we'll probably never get a chance to see an adaptation of the story because this exists.
Yeah. It is. And one of the a thing I was referring to earlier. There's a review of this film by Amy Tobin of The Village Voice from when it came out, and one of the lines that got extracted, and I ended up reading the whole review, but the line that pops out on Metacritic is, "What's on screen is so dreadful that it inspires the ontological question, what are films, and why is this not one of them?" Which is
That's funny because that directly goes against the review you gave me via text saying that it was a film.
I mean, it fills certain requirements of being a feature film. It has motion pictures and runtime.
It does have those two things. There is dialogue.
It's not a short.
No.
I mean, it's even a talkie.
It's a talkie. I agree. I agree.
Okay, so let's do this rating thing and bail the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We got a promo to record.
Man, we went extra long on our recommendos and still couldn't get to hit 90. Barely hit an hour.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get my pen. Story. The story of this is going to be its strongest suit, I have a feeling.
Yeah. The interesting thing will be the balance between what is the implied story and what is the story shown on screen, and
that's
how
a good
do we
point.
weight those?
How do we give credit to story that we never saw?
Yeah, because what's shown on screen is I would say generously a 5.
Yeah, it's a shitty love story between criminals.
I mean, and like I said, it's a very good, not adaptation, but it's a very good Xerox to motion pictures of the short story. But that doesn't mean it's a movie.
Yeah. I'll go 6. I don't know why. I feel generous.
Let's go.
I think Willem Dafoe did his job as a lovelorn criminal, and I believed him. And there were times where I was like, I wish this guy could get the girl. Which is, I don't know if that counts as story, but sure. Willem Dafoe did his job.
Yeah, he did. And he's got the lead and knows how to swing it. Yeah.
We spent
Okay.
more time talking about Willem Dafoe's Hog this episode than
Oh, we're going to see it in the future.
I'm sure
I don't
will.
know on what else. I'm trying to think of other Willem Dafoe cyberpunk films.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Green Goblin's kind of cyberpunk. Flies around on a drone. I don't
snowboard.
Influence.
Influence. Zero.
Yeah, I can't really say it has any. It's bad.
It's not a good movie.
Prescience doesn't.
I mean, to be honest, it's not prescient at all in that it looks like a nice hotel in 1998. Like the entire movie.
There is some virus being used as weapons stuff.
Okay,
They don't really show, but they talk about.
Yeah.
And the idea of corporate extraction as a concept is interesting, although I don't know how relevant it is.
Yeah.
I'll give it a
2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
2. It's got something.
Yeah. It does.
Style.
None. I mean, it's literally 1998.
Yeah.
If it was set in the year 1999, both like everybody would have been wearing fucking Jenko jeans and Korn t-shirts. I mean, it's that tied into the moment.
I gave story a point for Willem Dafoe's acting. I'm going to give this a point for Christopher Walken's style because he's trying.
Okay, yeah, the cane swinging, I guess, can count as style,
and the dancing and the the Walkenness of it all.
All
so
right, I'll agree with you there. Yeah,
I'm going to give it a 2 because 1 is the lowest. So
yeah,
actually, that's not true. We've gone 0 plenty of times, but I'm still going to go 2. And you're going to go 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then overall, 1 to 5 hand raisers. How much did you like it? I did not like it.
I'm going. If we can't do 0, I'm going 0.25.
0.25. Agreed. This might be our lowest scoring thing we've done,
which I think is totally fair.
It's fair. I liked it less than Cyber Vengeance.
Yeah, sometimes you say, "Oh man, this score is way low," and I think, "Wait, did I really hate it more than Cyber Vengeance or Cyborg?" And this time, I'm going, "Yeah,
I did."
Like, and it's not just how bad it was; it's also the waste. Like, you had Willem Dafoe and Christopher Walken in a room together.
Yeah, and this is what you gave us.
This is what came out of it? What's the point?
I was listening back to our Cyber Vengeance episode also to pull clips, and we watched that movie twice.
Yeah.
I was kind of fondly remembering things, like it had entertaining elements. It was a fucking movie.
At some point, we got to go back and watch that sequel.
I agree. And Cyborg was crap, but also clearly a movie. It had a plot. It had progression.
I mean, it wasn't a good movie by anybody's standards, but it was definitely a fucking movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this one, just a struggle. After about 30 minutes in, you're like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. And I just got to dedicate another hour. And on my case, watching it on Freevee, an hour plus like 12 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, that's rough.
Did not like.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sorry we dumped that schlock on you if you watched it to watch along with us.
Hey, I recommend watching literally, I think literally any Willem Dafoe movie other than this. I mean, he's a guy who's really had a career, which makes him Willem Defriend to me.
Yeah.
I mean, or
just read the New Rose Hotel short story and then go watch The Lighthouse.
Yeah, or what was
Poor Things.
Oh, Poor
just
Things.
Won an
Yeah,
Oscar.
that was good. Yeah, To Live and Die in L.A. William Friedkin just died 6 months ago. That was a great movie, and you get to see some balls.
Aquaman. He apparently is an Aquaman.
He wasn't. I did see that. He was in Aquaman.
So yeah, read the short story. Autofocus. We talked about that before.
A movie that we talk about more than
you can watch him crank his hog again.
More than I think it deserves.
Because I think we saw that I think it imprinted on us at a time in our lives.
Very specific time. Yeah.
I can always picture the look on Willem Dafoe's face when he's cranking one out with his bud.
Yeah, with Greg Kinnear. Just him and Greg Kinnear jacking their hogs. Just a couple of guys who like jacking off with friends.
Right, that's what we're recommending officially. Fuck all those other movies, all those good movies. Read New Rose Hotel. Go out, watch Autofocus.
Yes.
You won't regret it.
You will get every bit of this movie.
All right. Next week, we are proud to announce we're going back to our literary roots and reading another William Gibson story, Virtual Light.
Yes, the first novel in the Bridge trilogy. And I have just finished my reread for the show a little early, and fuck, it was so good. I think I might go back and reread it again, in the next week before we record it.
Yeah, you have time. It's only a 9-hour audiobook, and if you are like me and listen to it faster speed, it's even faster than that. And it's an easy read if you're a eyeball reader. So I'd recommend it.
Highly, highly recommend it. It is
no spoilers. No spoilers.
As I will say on the show, it's such a vibe. I mean,
but those could be bad vibes. You don't know.
It's true. Yeah, that's true. The vibes are fucking immaculate.
The vibes
are
immaculate.
It is worth every bit of it. Like, man,
I would like that to be a review for our show. The vibes are immaculate.
Oh, God, I really wish we could pull off a show like that. I think we're A, too chaotic, and B, at least I am on the end of too depressive.
We dip in for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the vibes are not quite immaculate. The vibes are fine. The vibes are fine.
We do our best.
Yeah.
We do our best with the vibes.
All right. So Virtual Light next week, hopefully with a guest.
Yeah, hopefully with a guest. We'll see how that works out. If not, we're going to cover it anyway. Go read it, man. It's strong.
It is book.
Yeah.
Check us out on Twitter at Johnny60seconds. Check us out on Blue Sky at High Tech Low Life. We have a Patreon. I am so sorry. I've been so busy with work. I just cannot sit down after work and do more work except for this once a week thing.
Yeah.
That is finishing up very soon. And then hopefully we can start cranking out Patreon eps like Willem Dafoe cranks.
Honestly, To Live and Die in LA wouldn't be a bad Patreon app. Although, with the way your work schedule has been, I'm thinking maybe what we need to do for our Patreon app is just knock out fucking Judgment Day and have months of Patreon saved up.
That's true. I'm about to have a very loose work schedule though, so that's the bright side.
All right.
And subscribe to us on YouTube. We're so close to triple digits. I'm so excited.
Yay!
If you haven't, please sub over there. This releases on YouTube too, and we have a few listeners over there, and we cherish everyone. So that's it.
We certainly do.
Do you have a sick New Rose Hotel line to?
Let me pull up the fucking quotes page on IMDb. I did not bother because so much of the dialogue is a cool combination of borderline inaudible and absolute fucking nonsense. Okay. This is your ticket out of the boneyard. You're dead, in case you didn't know it. You just don't have the sense to lie down.
That's so much better sounding than the movie actually is. Bye.
Bye.
This has been the High Tech Low Life podcast. Find us on Twitter at Johnny60seconds, email us at hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com, and find us on Patreon at patreon.com/hightechlowlife. Theme music by Nihilor at nihilor.com. Thank you for listening.
Keep it moving. Come on, what are you waiting on? Let's go.
They're trashing our rights, man! They're trashing the floor down